Welcome back to the Power of the Truth podcast. Today's episode walks straight into the heart of what this podcast is all about. Stripping away the polished surface and getting to the raw, inconvenient, liberating truth that shapes the women we become. My guest today is worthiness coach Ebi Diete-Spiff, a woman whose life reads like a testament to what happens when you stop running from your truth and start listening to it. Ebi spent years in corporate HR, outwardly confident, capable, successful, the woman who held everything together whilst raising 7 children. But beneath all that strength lived something far quieter, a deep old ache born from foster care, early rejection, and a marriage that was emotionally, physically, and psychologically abusive. Like so many women, she pushed on, she survived, she succeeded until in 2014, the moment everything cracked open. Her health collapsed, her spirit was exhausted, and the confident exterior couldn't hide what her body already knew. She'd lost herself and the truth, that sharp, shining thing that she'd kept tucked away for decades, finally demanding to be heard. In this conversation, Ebi and I walk through the courage it takes to stop pretending, to share how trauma threads itself through work, parenting, relationships, and even the way we hold ourselves in our own skin. We talk about the turning points, the tapping, the healing, the books that cracked the armour, the slow and stubborn journey towards self-respect, forgiveness, and finally freedom and self-love. But most of all, we talk about worth and why the truth isn't just therapeutic, it's the doorway back to yourself. So settle in. This is a story of survival, honesty, and a woman who reclaimed her power, one truth at a time. Let's go. Okay, welcome to the podcast, Ebi Diete-Spiff. I'm very glad to have you here. So, for our listeners, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and how you've ended up here.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Fran, for inviting me to this podcast. As Fran said, my name is Ebi Diete-Spiff. And how did I get to be here? Gosh, it's a long story. I thought you just asked me in bits. But
Why don't you start by taking us back to 2014? So not right to the beginning, we'll get there. But take us back to 2014, what life was like just before everything began to unravel for you at that point.
Yeah, so in 2014, I had already been divorced for 14 years after 2014. And I was working in corporate at the time. But my children at the time were kind of growing past getting into university. Some had been through and the youngest were getting there. And I was in human resources as a business partner, stroke manager. 2014 was a turning point for me because I just wondered why, like some people always say, why me? I never really got into this why me boohoo thing. It just didn't click with me. So I started asking myself, why is it that I'm not moving in the direction I wanted to go? Not that it's my fault for not being there, but why am I not confident? Even though I was seen as confident, like how people see you as confident and see you as a go-getter, and people saw me that way, but deep down I really wasn't that way. And so I started questioning it in terms of my personal relationships, family relationships, in terms of my job. And I thought, it suddenly clicked. It was like an eureka moment. And I kind of thought, oh, I have to take some responsibility for this. There are some choices that I can make and some choices that I've made, which, although I don't regret, but it's also a learning opportunity. So I need to learn from I don't like to use the word mistakes. I like to learn from the opportunities for growth to take me forward. It hit me that I lacked love for myself. It hit me that I lacked respect for myself. And and so I started going along the process. What is self-love? And for me, I knew instinctively that self-love is not about buying myself more clothes. It's not about spending a lot of money on myself. Self-love is about me inside. Who am I? Do I have value for who I am? Do I respect my opinions? Do I see myself as beautiful? Do I see myself as worthy? And so going down that rabbit hole, which is a bit painful because when you go on that journey to self mastery, which is what I called my first program, Journey to Self Mastery, you find out things about yourself that you probably don't really like.
Yeah.
But again, it's knowing about the whole me. So the bits that I wish I wasn't. I mean, now I don't wish I wasn't that because that's all part of me. But it's being able to recognize those bits that could be a weakness, but could also be a strength, and accepting that and knowing what that is. Because if you know where the opportunities for growth are, when you get the challenges, then you can work on that. But if you don't think they exist, then when you get those challenges, you kind of think, why me? Why me? Why me? Well,
Yeah. It's that
it's
self-awareness, isn't it? To
yeah,
recognize your flaws and to be able to go, okay, I know in this situation, I don't deal with this well.
yes,
So
yes,
I need to be able to address it
yeah,
and move forward in a way that is going to give me personal growth.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
beneficial rather than destructive. Yeah,
Exactly. And obviously you got to this point. So you set up your own business, didn't you?
yeah,
You left the corporate world and set up your
yeah,
own business and set
yeah,
up your own programs.
yeah.
So who do you help? Who do you support?
At the moment, yeah. So before I went into, I did some work with people living with dementia in care homes. So I used to do entertainment with them. And then because of my health problems, I went into health and wellness coaching. And at the moment, I'm into worthiness coaching for women. So professional women 40 plus is my target audience at the moment.
Right. But obviously, and you have a great deal of experience in terms of working with women, but also because of everything that you went through. I know you mentioned it was 14 years after your divorce, 2014, and but that is just the tip of the iceberg, isn't it,
Yeah.
in terms of your experience? So tell us a little bit about everything. I know it's a long story, but
Well,
tell us a little bit about what brought you to this point of refusing to be a victim of your circumstance, please.
okay, yeah, I think, yeah. Because like they say, as you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So what you do as a person in your private life spills out into your professional life. You might not realize it, but it does. So I'll explain. So I got married at age 19, and out of that marriage, I had 7 children. I had five initially. So I left my ex-husband in 1988 and went back to him after 9 years, and then had a set of twins. So I had seven. I have 7 children altogether.
Wow.
So I got married at age 19, totally oblivious to everything happening around me. I was living in Nigeria. So
Oh, you were living in Nigeria.
I was born in the UK. My parents came to study. My dad actually came to study with my mom, and I came along, I think, unexpectedly, accidentally, as some people may put it.
And there's no such thing as an accident. I don't believe
I mean,
that.
I'm glad to be here.
I was definitely an accident, but my mom said I was coming whether or not. So
So yeah, so they had me, and then when I was about 5, they went back to Nigeria. And so I was in Nigeria till I was 19, and I got married to somebody, a Nigerian person, but he went to Greece to study architecture. And so I went with him, and it was a very physically, emotionally, and psychologically abusive relationship.
oh,
I was in that relationship for 10 years, and then I came to the UK in 1988. And as I said, I went back after 9 years to the same person. So when I left the second time, which was in 1999, I thought to myself, why? Why did okay, I knew financially it was difficult for me, so I thought that would it would be easier for me going back. But I kind of thought, why would I take the abuse and think that everything was okay? And it hit me that I didn't have the self-love, like I said. And so for me, that was a turning point in terms of understanding, because I didn't really understand abuse in relationships. I didn't understand that at all because I never grew up with that, and I never saw it around me. So I didn't really understand it. But then why did I accept abuse? Because they say people who've been abused accept abuse. I don't know. I don't know about that because I never saw that. But I thought maybe because when my parents were in England and my dad was studying, it was difficult because I was in the 50s and they had no family here and they were alone. I mean, they had friends and they made a lot of friends, but they were alone. And because my mother was a nurse at the time and she was working shifts, they put me in foster care. So I'm thinking, where did my rejection? Because I had a lot of rejection issues, and I think
Yeah.
that's part of the self-esteem. So I don't know whether the self-esteem started from. Actually, I do know. I found out that my self-esteem, part of it was in vitro. So if you can imagine somebody who's pregnant in a very, very cold country that she's not used to, no family, suddenly pregnant, didn't know what to do, no money really, she's probably crying a lot.
Yeah.
So as a child in there, I'm probably thinking, it's my fault my mom's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absorbing that
Yeah,
negativity.
you're absorbing it. I mean, it's less than a year since this hit me.
Wow.
I went on some, it's not really therapy, but I went on because I was training for my own clients. And so they did some work on me too. So we do work on each other. And it hit me that was when I was 6 months, about 6 months in vitro.
Wow.
Because I had a lot of rejection issues, which I struggle with in my business. So the rejection of people saying no to me, the rejection of people not feeling good enough. I know a lot of people have imposter syndrome. So I'm thinking, where's mine coming from? And I'm thinking that it's far back as then. And yeah, so it's like the rejection, because I'm thinking my dad's rejected me. I mean, I always thought my issues would probably be with mother because most people think it's mommy issues. But my father has been dead for more than 30 years. And I didn't really let go until like 18 months ago. And I found out
Really?
that I had a lot of rejection issues. I knew my dad loved me, but I think with my unlimited mind, so the real deep me felt the rejection from my dad, which probably would have happened when my mom got pregnant, because obviously maybe there were a lot of arguments, there's no money, how are we
There
going to
was
support the
stress.
child? Yeah, the stress,
Yeah.
yeah. So all that would have been going on, and it's probably gone into my own nervous system, in terms of,
Mm.
so that really, so there's a lot of work that I've had to do in terms of rejection and thinking about my marriage. Why did I get into a bad marriage? So obviously, because I have these rejection issues, which I didn't know I had at the time, I'm probably giving off the energy of negative, because I'm
Mm.
so negative within. I wasn't able to attract people who were positive because obviously that negativity it's like a vibration. I don't know how to explain it, like
Yeah, no, I
we're like
understand.
vibrational beings, aren't we? And we
Yeah.
vibrate things out. So that's why I feel it's important because of my journey. I think it's nice to let other women know that if you stay positive, it's not always easy to stay positive. And there are ways you can deal with negative things that happen to you so you can stay positive. So you're vibrating, because like a ripple, isn't it? You're vibrating the positive energy out. So you only get positive people coming towards you. Because
Yeah.
what I find out is that when you get a lot of negative people coming towards you, so people attacking you unnecessarily, in terms of like, if I had a lot of racial issues, I think I go within and think, why are people attacking me because of my. Usually, it's self worth from within, and I've tried this. I've tried this over and over again. And when you change what's within, those people somehow disappear. I don't know, or
But I
even
think
if they appear.
you're not giving any attention to them, are you?
Exactly. So you're not giving attention because bad and good coexist anyway.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, and there's nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can do is what we have. We can only change ourselves. So if I have anybody negative or anything negative happening to me, I go within and I find what's my lesson here? What's it I'm supposed to learn? And once you get that lesson, you found out that the external changes, it's like magic. Sorry. I just
Yeah,
get
no,
excited. It's like magic.
I agree. And I think you're clearly a very intelligent, bright woman. You've lived a very full life. And I know you have incredibly accomplished in terms of your qualifications and things like that, and you know your education. But there has to be a moment when you've, like you say, when you get into a marriage like that, when you question yourself because you're like, I know I'm an intelligent person. Why am I putting up with this?
Mhm.
Why am I repeating? And the fact that you went back
Exactly.
after 9 years and you repeated that emotional trauma again
Mhm.
with him and had more children. I'm not surprised there became a moment for you when you felt like you needed to take a step back and analyze, hold on a minute, why? Why
Mm.
am I doing this? Because your truth in that moment is that you know how things should be. You know that that's not something you've grown up with. It's not a hereditary trauma that you've experienced, although you now know, obviously, that it goes much further back,
Yeah.
like you say,
Mhm.
in vitro. But it's such a powerful moment to be able to step back from your body, essentially, and say, hold on a minute, why?
Mm.
Why am I doing this? You know? So why do you think those patterns kept resurfacing? Was that the rejection that you revisited that because you were looking for validation from him?
Yeah, so I think we look for reasons and we look for validation, but self-awareness, there's nothing like self-awareness, because once you self-aware of things, it's like a eureka moment, and you kind of think, oh my gosh, it's all me. It's not that it's my fault, and it's not that I'm a bad person, but it's the control of my life is with me. So I might have external things that are coming at me, but there's a choice there. So I can either choose to fall with it, or I can choose to rise above it. Sometimes we can't choose what hits us.
Yeah.
At that point, we do have a choice. Because I have no control of what somebody else is going to do to me, and there's so much we don't understand about life. You know why? Like people say, why do bad things happen to good people? We don't know. I don't know why I came across that person. I don't know. But one thing I believe is that everybody's your teacher. So my children are my teacher. So anybody that comes into your life, the bad and the good are there to teach you a lesson. Things don't just happen by mistake. And that's why you see two people who experience the same awful things, and one person thrives in that awfulness, and the other person goes right down in the same thing, same family, same everything, but two different reactions. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I can't answer the question, why do bad things happen? But it is what it is. We are
Yeah.
on this earth. This is the way it is here.
Yeah. So what was your moment of truth? What was the moment when you went back to your husband after 9 years, you had the twins, and then you were like, no, no more. I'm done. I've got to make a change here. What was that moment of truth for you? Was there a single moment, or did you just, what happened?
I think it's a process, because you like I said earlier, how you do one thing is how you do everything else. So I noticed, obviously at work it wasn't the same, but then the feelings were the same in terms of the feelings of rejection. So I would do something that was good, but if somebody just said it's a little bit of a no, I'd feel like a big rejection. They wouldn't be taking it the same way I was taking it. I was just, it was all, everything was in my head. It was all
Yeah,
in my head.
there was
And
no
that,
grounding.
yeah, that gets you really stuck. It gets you can't move on, because you're just always looking for the validation. And if validation doesn't come, you feel rejected. And validation is not going to come because people behave in different ways. Some people might feel you're great, but might never give you that validation because that's not who they are. But you feeling, oh, they didn't say anything, so therefore they didn't like me, so therefore I feel rejected. Because I didn't really know who I was. I didn't believe in who I was. Because if you believe in who you are and you know who you are, you're not going to be seeking up as well, and you're going to know that you've done a good job.
Yeah.
So I noticed it was spilling out in everything, personal relationship, friends, work, and I thought, no, this is in my control, and I'm going to do what I know is right. I'll look after my mental health, and take pride knowing that I'm unique. I'm not looking for validation on the outside, not looking for praise.
So you left Nigeria and came back to the UK at that
Yeah, no,
point.
I haven't been back to Nigeria for like 40 years. I never went
Really?
back. So I was in Nigeria till I was 19. And then I went to Greece and was there for 10
Oh,
years.
Greece. Yes, you're in
And then
Greece.
I came here. And then I went back to Greece for 2 years. And then I came back here.
Sorry, yes, I knew you'd gone back. I couldn't remember. Geographically, I'd lost track.
Yeah.
Okay, so and obviously then once you came back to the UK from Greece, then you had to start healing, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to start healing. And I did do a bit of therapy. And it did help me up to a certain point.
Did you have the children with you at that
Yeah,
point?
I brought up my children on my own. Their dad never helped at all.
That takes a strong woman.
It's like being an alcoholic. So you just think about today. You don't think
Yeah.
about tomorrow. If you think about tomorrow, you think 5 years ahead, you'll just crash. So you learn to live in the moment and you learn to enjoy the moment every day. Yeah, you just think about today. And then it passed. And when I look back, it actually passed quite quickly. But when I hit age 60, I went into another meltdown because when kids leave home, because I always thought, oh gosh, I'm going to celebrate when my kids leave home. Yeah, because I'll be free and I'll be able to do whatever I want.
But
But
your life has been defined by then for
yeah,
that
but
such a
because
long time. You,
exactly. So when I
yeah.
hit age 60, I kind of thought, oh my gosh, I'm completely useless. So I went to another thing. I have nothing to do, and nobody wants me anymore, and nobody needs me anymore.
So
I'm not
those rejection
useless.
feelings are all
Yeah,
coming back in.
exactly. And then when I started dating, because then I started dating in 2022, the rejection issues came back really. You really have to deal with things because you think they've gone, but it shows up in other areas. It's just different points in my life. But it's nice to be able to help somebody not go through all that pain. Because when I really woke up to this is 25 years later.
Yeah. And the healing sounds so poetic, but actually it's messy and it's
Yeah.
painful, isn't it? It's not all, oh, namaste, self-love. It's not so poetic, is it?
No,
Quite
no.
often. So you talk about rediscovering your worth and embracing self-love. So in practical terms, what did that look like for you? When did that start and what did you start to do differently? You said you had a little bit of therapy. But what changed in that? What did you start to do to find out who you were and what self-love looked like for you?
I think one of the things that really woke me up was my health. I was on medication, but I had thyroid issues and also I had disc problems. Very painful, very, very painful disc. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk, I couldn't laugh, I couldn't cough from
Oh,
the pain. And I was speaking to my physiotherapist once, and she said to me, it's trauma. I said, are you telling me this pain that I've been feeling for 20 years is in my head? She said, no. She said, it's physical and it's true because when there's a lot of trauma, your body will give you something. So you might have an accident, or you might have something that gets you to focus on that. And so that was another wake up call for me. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I started doing some more research and I read a lot of books about people who had accidents, spinal injuries, crushed spines, different things, and how they dealt with the pain. So I took a course in tapping. So that's
oh
emotional
yeah.
freedom technique, which helps you to bring down the pain. And there was, I can't remember her name. She's an English lady from Manchester, and she had an accident when she was in her 20s and crushed her spine. And she talks about the volume of pain, how you can bring it down from a 10 to a 2. So I did all that. And then I found out about the emotions code, which talks about pain and trauma. So I went down all this journey and finding out that a lot of what we suffer from comes from self-love, which is really, really shocking. It sounds so simple, and it is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple because our mind is so powerful, and you can do so much with your mind and what you believe in your beliefs.
Intention.
Intention, yeah, and there's so much in our subconscious mind. My friend calls it the unlimited mind that we're not aware of, and it's being able to listen to that, because your mind, which is 5%, and your subconscious is 95% of your behavior. Your mind is a great tool which helps to protect you and helps you to live in this life that we live in, helps to put things in order for you. But the subconscious mind is what can take you like really deep into your intuition, and can help with healing if you have anything. And
If
so
you choose. If you choose.
if you choose, yeah, so you have to choose, and you have to let go. So I got this book from Dr. Hawkins, he's called, and he wrote a book called Letting Go. I think he did the one on power versus force. He wrote that. I think he wrote power. I don't know if you heard about power versus, but the one
Okay.
I got was Letting Go, and he talks about the different levels of emotions, and where anger sits and all that stuff. And he talks about letting go, and he said you don't need to know what caused the trauma. You just need to know how to let go.
Yeah.
How
Wow.
to let go. And that was so powerful, learning to let go without trying to find out the history. And he's a psychologist, but he's also spiritual. So he uses
Yeah.
both in his work. And that was a great book that really, really helped me to
Interesting.
learn how to let go, to be able to release the trauma, to be able to
Mm.
release, because negative emotions are stored in our nervous system. So when you have negative thoughts, you're storing it somewhere. It can be in your knee, it can be in your chest, it can be in your spine, and that can cause problems later on in years. And that's why it's
Yeah.
important to listen to your body. And that's another reason why it's good to let go of the negative emotions, because they're actually harming us physically.
Yeah. Well, I know that from, I'm a Reiki practitioner. So,
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
releasing energy and finding the blocks. And
Oh,
so,
so
yeah,
oh yeah.
I completely can resonate with that. So, I know you work with women who are caught between career and family and toxic relationships. Those are your target audience. So, in your experience, what's the most common lie that women tell themselves when they're stuck and they don't want to move on? What's the big barrier?
I think it's I'm not good enough is the common one. I'm
Yeah.
not good enough. I don't know enough. I'm not loved, and I'm not loved is another one. I'm not loved. I'm ugly.
Oh.
I'm ugly. I see a beautiful woman saying I'm ugly. I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah. Um,
um,
and and it's interesting that people think that looks are a barrier, right? Rather than personality or
actually, your
because
energy,
your
the
energy,
energy
because
you
the
vibrate,
essence,
because yeah, your true essence. Because the magazines might not see you as attractive, but other people see you as attractive because of your energy.
exactly.
So
I'm
everyone,
definitely drawn to people
yeah,
because of their energy,
yeah.
because it's infectious,
Yeah, so it's what's
and
going on inside them.
yeah,
Whereas
I
somebody
agree.
who might be physically really beautiful, if they've got all that hate in and anger in, they might look nice in a photograph, but they're not probably going
But
to.
their soul is ugly.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they need to work out their. I mean, everybody's beautiful in their own way.
of
That's the
course
same.
they are. Of
Yeah, but
course.
yeah, but it's we can choose to come out as beautiful, or we can choose not to by what's going on inside. And as they
Yeah.
say, the world is our mirror. So you always get somebody. If somebody's coming to you and saying something, the world is your mirror, and what you're seeing is actually a reflection of what's inside you. So usually we're projecting. We're usually projecting our inner self on other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
God. So
Um,
I think for me that's a symptom. It's very easy to know what to correct in yourself by who comes in front of you,
yeah.
or what you see, by what you see really.
Yeah.
So if you see the world as a very evil and ugly place, because the world is not ugly and not be okay. There's some things that you wouldn't like to happen, but it's actually a beautiful place. So if you're seeing it as ugly, what's happening inside?
Yeah, yeah. It's a reflection of you, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So, how does self-worth or lack of it affect the way women show up professionally in your experience? You know, we spend so much time, don't we, telling ourselves all these lies about I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm ugly, nobody loves me, all those things. So if we're telling ourselves that in our subconscious, how does that show up professionally? What effect does that have on the women that you work with? How do you see that manifest?
Like I said, we usually get our clients that are us, really. And one of my coaches said to me, when you go out there, notice the people that come to you. It's probably something you need to do for yourself. And I'll tell you one big experience that I noticed. So, in terms of the money side of things, so if you're chasing the money, you're chasing the money. So you keep chasing,
You'll
chasing,
always be chasing.
chasing. Yeah. So it's a thing about letting go of chasing and enjoying and serving, affirming. You already have it, it's already there, and you'll get people who are willing to be clients of yours as opposed to, oh, I'm looking. I'm
Yeah,
searching,
yeah.
looking at it for that part. So yeah, so this is the thing I try to tell my clients: just let go and just release things, and then
Just do the work.
just do the work with good intention. Your intention is to serve. Your intention is to help. Just do it. Do your best. Don't keep looking for the validation. You're looking for the validation, then you're always looking for the validation. You're
Hmm.
not feeling good enough.
So how do you balance that? Because you've obviously turned everything that you went through, all the adversity and the pain and sadness, you've turned that into purpose now as a coach and an author and a speaker.
Mhm.
So how do you balance sharing your truth and vulnerability without being consumed by your past?
Again, authenticity. And I know a lot of people don't like that word, but I don't know what other word to use. When you know who you are, it's for me, it's like a story. My past is like a story. All the years since 2000, I thought I had done true forgiveness because I always felt forgiveness is easy for me. But I heard he said something, and I cried for 6 hours. And I don't know if you understand the African culture. We're quite dramatic. And when we and when we cry, we don't cry like we cry. We will. I
6 hours.
wailed. I wailed for 6 hours. I woke the
Oh,
whole house up. I didn't care. I wailed and wailed. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't truly forgiven. And so I had to go back and do more work. And when I realized that I had forgiven was I was able to really feel gratitude for what happened. I was able to say thank you from my heart. I really felt thank you because I looked at my life and I thought, oh my gosh, my life would have been this way if I didn't meet this person. But my life is here now. I love who I am. I've seen what I because I obviously I've got sisters. Their life's great, but that's not me. I wouldn't have been happy being in that life. And I like what I am now. And so I have real gratitude. I will not choose to go that path again, but I'm really, really grateful. And to be honest, if somebody came out and said to me, he's the best person, I'll say, oh, yes, he's. And I really feel that he is. I really feel gratitude despite the pain. And I have a friend who had terminal illness, and I've read a lot about it too. And a lot of them who've gone past that have said the greatest thing that helped them in their healing is forgiveness. It's I don't even know how to explain it because if you've gone through it, then you'll understand. It's like if I hear before, like 20 years ago, if they said anything about him, I would say, oh, now I'll try and defend myself. But now I'll say, oh yeah, he's great. He's that. It's like a story for me. My past is like somebody else's story. It's not even like my story anymore. It doesn't have any negative impact on me at all. The only thing it has is positive. And when I see my children, I don't see him like some people see him and see all the. I recognize some of the bits that they have of him because obviously they are part of him. But it's like in a positive way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not in
I
a
mean, it is just the absolute definition of letting go, isn't it?
yes.
It
And that is so powerful. It is so powerful to let go. And I know it's not easy and it's a process and it's different for different people. Some people might be able to let go in 5 minutes. For me, it took me 30 years. I hope it doesn't take anybody 30.
but now you're in a place where you refuse to be a victim.
I've found that out, and I think it's the way the subconscious mind works. When you're a victim, you lose power. Your brain cannot just think and move you forward. You're stuck. You're stuck, and no matter what's going on. But when you take responsibility, I'm not saying take responsibility for their part, take responsibility for your part. You'll be surprised. You're energized. You're energized. Your brain works for you. What you need to do, and you wake up each morning. Wow, you got another idea. You're moving on with it. Being a victim just it doesn't serve you. It really doesn't.
So inspirational. I mean, after everything you've been through, to have that attitude of gratitude is
Uh,
phenomenal. But if somebody was listening to this today who was in a situation that they didn't feel they could get out of and they were in too deep, what's the first truth that you would want to tell them to help them begin healing and get themselves out of that situation?
I think the first thing, I had someone in that situation. She had problems with her husband. She was saying, I don't know what to do. I said, continue with your relationship, do your best, but what you need to start doing is just loving self. The answers, I tell you, that is so powerful. Once you start to love yourself, and as you start to improve, even before you really love yourself, you start to get the clear answers. You will know what's right for you intuitively. It will come just by that self-love. And I see her now because she was so dependent. I thought, oh, I can't leave him. I don't want to. I said, you don't need to think about leaving him. Forget about leaving. Just focus on loving self. And as she starts to love self, she's now being able to let go little by little, focus more on her children, focus more on her life, her job, her career. And one day it's going to click and she's going to think, well, really?
I don't need you. Yeah.
Yeah. So just don't fight things. I think there's a quote about letting things flow. I can't remember what it is. But just let things flow.
It's a process.
Yeah, because when you're pulling, just let it flow. It will fall into place. Trust me, it will fall into place. You will know, and it will be right for you, and will be right for everybody around you. It'll be right. Just focus on healing yourself, which starts with love of self, and it will flow.
That's beautiful.
And there's no rush, because I think these days we just want things to happen straight away. There's no rush. Just allow. Will happen.
And obviously for you now, you're making a brand new ending, aren't you? You wrote that in your LinkedIn bio that we can't go back and make a new start, but we can make a brand new ending.
Yes.
And so what does that look like for you? Where are you going next? What's the plan? Tell me.
Oh, I don't know. I am really excited. So I have a 5-day challenge coming up in September.
Yeah, excellent.
December. Yeah, when I had my summit in September, the last one I had, the great thing I enjoy is the ladies that are speaking. Their stories, their journey just makes my heart swell. It's like, just the people I'm just meeting. So I'm just enjoying every minute, working with women, talking to women, men if possible, but I mean, women are my main focus because you can't help everybody.
No.
So that's it.
So if people want to work with you, where do they find you?
I'm on Facebook I do TikTok videos 3, 4 times a week. I talk about something. I am on LinkedIn. I've got websites, absheila.com. It needs to be updated, but it's there. It tells a bit of my story. Yeah, so I do a bit of podcast like today.
Yeah, great. Well, I'll make sure that all the links are in the show notes so that if people are inspired by your story and they want to get in touch and work with you, then obviously they can. But thank you so much, Ebi, for your time today. I'm so grateful and so great to speak to you and hear your journey to your truth and to learn well, I think we all need to learn how to let things go, don't we?
Yes,
Clearly.
yes, 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 yes. But the thing is that once you learn how to do it, it becomes easy. It's
Yeah.
like the first one that's difficult.
Yeah.
Once you learn how to, it just becomes easy.
Amazing. Ebi, thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome.
And I'm so grateful. And thank you for being on my podcast.
Thank you.